Thank you very much. Let's give Scott a tremendous round of applause for a great job he just did. Give Scott a round of applause, if you please. How many have major goals you'd like to achieve? Raise your hands, please. Major goals you'd like to achieve. Fantastic. Shake someone's hand on your right and left. Look them in the eyes and say, you have something special. You have greatness within you. Do that right now, please. Very good. I like to ask audiences how many have major goals you'd like to achieve. And I want to ask you another question, because I've been reflecting on this. Last year I had a reoccurrence of the little c, cancer. 15 years ago I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and given a 2 to 3 year prognosis. One of the things I think that doctors should never tell someone they're terminally ill. What they should say is, my knowledge and ability to help you has terminated. But I've been reflecting on my life, and I want to ask you, and I know you've done things you feel good about, things that you're proud of, but how many of you know if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. That proves the point that what we do and what we accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us. So I want to share some thoughts with you. I want you to think about 3 goals that you'd like to achieve in 3 areas of your life. Number 1, what's one personal goal that you'd like to achieve? Why don't you think about that? My first personal goal was to buy my mother a home. I'm one of 7 children that my adopted mother adopted. And I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. She was a domestic worker on Miami Beach in the United States, and she cleaned homes and she kept children. And we wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that she kept. She cooked for families, and we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. These were very kind and generous people. They would say, Mamie, whatever food is left over, you can pack it up and take it home to those children that you have adopted. And I used to walk around these big, beautiful mansions, and I'd say, Mama. And she said, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home, just like this. How many have somebody special you'd like to do something for? Raise your hands, please. Very good. We're going to show you how you can make that happen. Now I want you to think about your financial goals, growing your business, advancing your career, taking your life to the next level. I want you to think about the goals that you've set for yourself, why you've invested in yourself and being here. And whatever the goals are that you've set for yourself, and I hope you've raised the bar on yourself, I want you to multiply it 100-fold. I found that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. I found that most people fail in life because they do what I did for most of my life, aim too low and hit. And many never aim at all. Now I want you to think about your social contribution. What will be different because you showed up? Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. One of the goals I have is reduce the number of women who die from breast cancer. My mother was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. How many men over 40? Raise your hands, please. Men over 40. Very good. One of the goals, every time I speak, I encourage men to get their PSA test, which stands for prostate-specific antigen, and the digital rectal examination. And I'll be glad when they can check our prostate by looking in our ears. You know, it's got to be a better way. I'm turning red as I talk about it, but you can't see it. A friend of mine was at a medical convention. Hey, Les, let me give you a free rectal. I said, no, buddy, you too motivated. Homie, don't roll like that, you know. One of the goals I have is teaching people how to tell their story, how to grow their business, be the voice of their business, how to improve their customer service, how to develop their leadership voice, how to go from being local to being global. I want you to think about the things that you want to do with your life, the kind of impact that you want to make. And as you think about those 3 categories, let us say together with conviction, it's possible. Together, please. Everybody together, please. Say it's possible. You know, the easiest thing I do is come up here prepared to speak for you. But the most difficult thing that I've ever done and took me years to do was to believe that I could do it. Given my beginning, born in an abandoned building on a floor in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City with a twin brother, being adopted, being labeled educable, mentally retarded in the 5th grade and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failing again in the 8th grade and not having any college education. And if both my birth parents stood up and said, "Hello, son," I would not know either one. You know, I saw a movie late one night, and in this movie called Magnolia, Tom Cruise, and there was a line in there that said, "We might be through with our past, but our past is not through with us." How many of you know there are things that we've experienced that can impact the way we see ourselves? Raise your hand as you understand that. And so as you look at yourself and look at your goals, I want you to write this down. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. You have to create an achiever's mindset. You have to create that yourself. My favorite book says, "Be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And what you're doing right now is an indication of what's most important. As you begin to invest in yourself, setting aside a time to be here. This is the era what the late Peter Drucker calls the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. And so as you look at yourself and look at your goals, setting aside time every day to work on your mindset, to expand your vision of what's possible for you. They did an interview with Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, as you're aware. And they asked him, what's the most important investment people can make today? And this was in the middle of the recession in the United States. Here's a guy that has billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market, and he said the most important investment you can make is in yourself. Everybody repeat after me, please. Live full. Die empty. Say it again. Live full. Die empty. After having 238 radiation seed implants, I was reading one night some words by Dr. Howard Thurman, who was a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., to Albert Schweitzer, to Mahatma Gandhi. He wrote, "Deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment." As I was reflecting on his words, he said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. You never used those talents. And there they are staring at you as you're lying on your bed with large, angry eyes saying, we came to you. And only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what talents, what abilities, what gifts, what ideas would die with you? One minister out of Bahamas said, the wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said, the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. There you see potential never realized. There you find books never written. There you find ideas never acted on. Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential. Let us say again, live full, die empty. And so as you think about your goals and dreams, I'm suggesting that you set aside time every day, if you're not doing it already, reading 10 to 15 pages of something positive every day, listening to audio programs, investing in yourself to expand your mind for what is possible, to develop a spirit of optimism. And then the next thing is, let us say together, it's necessary. You see, not only is it possible that you can live your dream and that you have to sell yourself on that every day. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. I didn't do this for 14 years because I convinced myself I couldn't do it. I would go see the late Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and I saw Tony Robbins, and my heart said, I could do that. How many like to help people? Raise your hands, please. I said, I can do that. And then when I would go to the parking lot, my inner voice would become activated and say, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. You've never worked for a major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. Who wants to hear anything you've got to say? How many ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hands, please. So that's why it's necessary that we work on ourselves. And let us say together, OQP, only quality people. Write that down. As you think about your goals and dreams over the next 2 years, over the next 2 days, it's very important that you look at the people in your life and you ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? MIT did a study. The study indicated that you earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. Whoa, when I heard that, I got a lot of broke people out of my life. My mama said, son, if you run around with 9 broke people, I guarantee you'll become number 10. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough out of Atlanta said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. So as you think about your goals and dreams, detoxify your life. Les, can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. And there's some people that's so negative they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. And so it's very important that you look at the people that's in your circle and begin to understand, are you growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually and professionally? Are they an asset to you or a liability to you? The other thing is, as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, let us repeat this, please. Make your move before you're ready. Yeah, write that down. See, I said, well, I don't have a college education. I don't have any paper or alphabets behind my name. And I realized that if you want to make it in life, you want to make your mark, you've got to become a risk taker. Viscott said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you can't become your best. And if you can't become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? I like what Helen Keller says. She says, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. So you have something special. You're here because there's something in your heart of hearts that said, I want more. I can do more. You're here because you're different. How many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, so you're here because you're different. You're uncommon. One man said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. Give yourselves a round of applause for having an uncommon desire to reach your goals, to achieve something great with your life. Bring your level of energy up. So as you look at yourself, not only must we begin to upgrade our relationships, but the other thing is, as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, write this down. You will fail your way to success. See, 85% of people allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. You're going to make some mistakes, and it's okay. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. It's worth doing right if you know how to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, it's worth doing badly until you get it right. You have to be willing to experiment with life. I've done a variety of things and I had absolutely no idea I had the ability to do those things. Here's what I can say about you, and I don't even know you. You've got greatness within you, but you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And most people, they go to their graves with their greatness still in them. Maybe that's why one woman said in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? Here's something else as you think about your goals and dreams. What's your why? Why do you want to do it? What drives you? This is my mother. She was 46 years old when she adopted first Wesley and I, and then 5 other children. And she was a driving force in my life. Which one am I? On the right or the left? I'm the cute one. Which one am I now? I'm the one on the left, all right? Yes, indeed. And as you think about your goals and dreams, think about somebody that you love, that inspired you, someone that you love, that you admire. And I think about my background, and this is Wesley and I eating sugar cane. You see, we were not born with a silver spoon in our mouths. Y'all eat sugar cane here in Australia? Anybody ever had sugar cane? Most of you have not. Just 2 people here. Yeah, it's sweet. It's interesting. You know, we were born in the area of Florida where you eat sugar cane. Donald Trump, father gave him $200 million to become successful. How many of you know if I give you $200 million, you got a good shot at becoming successful? Raise your hands, please. My mama gave us 2 pieces of sugar cane, and we had an advantage. Room always get quiet when I say that. Donald Trump was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. If you had a choice between eating a silver spoon and eating sugar cane, which one would you eat? Sugar cane, I told you we had an advantage. That's what I'm talking about. And then I met someone who changed my life. See, what we do and what we accomplish in life is a result of the story we believe about ourselves. And I met this friend. I was a disc jockey at the time. And he said, Les Brown, you're more than a disc jockey. Les Brown, you're more than a paycheck. Les Brown, you can do more. How many of you had somebody see something in you didn't see in yourself? Raise your hands, please. And I couldn't see it at the time. But he continued to talk to me. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And eventually I became an entrepreneur. I began to book concerts, and not just doing a radio show, but I invited entertainers to come to town. And these little guys came in 1973. There I am standing in the back. That's Michael Jackson there at 10 years of age in 1973. I didn't know who they were going to become. They didn't know who I was going to become. The hand that you shook in the audience, you have no idea whose hand you just shook. You don't know who they are. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for that person whose hand you just shook. That person, they have greatness within them, and you have greatness within you. And to prove it, you were chosen 1 out of 400 million sperm. There's something in you. And God said, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you. There's something you have that the world needs now. If you don't give it to us, we will all be deprived. And so as you think about your goals and dreams, how many of you like to make a difference in your community? Raise your hands, please. You have the ability to do that. I ran for the Ohio legislature. Had no idea I had the ability to do that. Passed 14 bills my first term. You have greatness within you. You can make more impact than you can ever begin to imagine when you're willing to challenge yourself. Let us say together, leap. Everybody together say, leap. And grow your wings on the way down. Yeah, see, one of the things about life, you're going to get hurt. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fail your way to success. But you got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to push yourself. You got to be willing to challenge yourself by putting yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. And so, but things happen in life. When you have goals and dreams, things happen. I had no idea. Midway of my third term, my mother became ill. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. My brothers and sisters called me and said they're going to put her in a nursing home. And I said, no. They said, we thought you would say that. We've interviewed the best nursing homes in Dade County. I said no. So I had a problem. How can one woman raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 grown people couldn't take care of one woman? I had a problem with that. And I've said, no,